What's going on, guys? Back from the National in Chicago. Made it back Saturday night, last night. Thought I'd do a day 3 and 4 recap video. Most of my day was consumed with travel yesterday. Hard to believe, 55-minute flight. My day basically started with a 6 o'clock call so I could get the 7 a.m. shuttle from the hotel to the airport. I had to take that shuttle because I was informed on Friday that I needed to get a COVID test to return. Now, originally, they were doing rapid testing when you got to the airport. That since changed, and now you had to get a test prior to getting on board the airport, which kind of makes sense. You know, you want to be, symptomatic or symptom free is the word I'm looking for before you get on the plane. So I got that email Friday morning and went into panic mode trying to find a place. So I finally found a place at O'Hare Airport that does the testing. So had to pay for it. Had an appointment for 8:05, waited in line. Well, was pretty much the first in line. They did my COVID test, said they send me an email in an hour. I got that email about an hour later, came back negative. Thought I was all clear. I got up through security and into the Canada Customs, the Air Canada checkout. Proceeded to show them my test, and they said, "You've taken the wrong test." And I was like, "Pardon?" She said, "Yeah, you took the antigen test. You need a PRT test to return to Canada." I said, "On the phone, it says I can take any one of the 3. She's like, "Yeah, you can to get in, but to get back, you have to take the PRT." And I said, "It clearly doesn't say that." And she's just the girl at Air Canada. And she's like, "Sir, I know you're frustrated, but I'm just here to enforce the rules. I don't make them." So she gave me a number to call. I left the airport, hopped into a car service that was provided by Air Canada. They said, "It's a 6-minute drive to the pharmacy. You might make it back. In the event that you don't, we're going to switch your ticket to the next flight at 1:30. Great, 4 hours away. And if you make it back in time, we'll keep that seat open and we'll just switch you back over." I said, "Okay." I said, "So it's only 6 minutes." She goes, "You'll be in and out of there in 5 minutes. 17 minutes, you might make it back while we're still boarding." I said, "Great." But they made the change for the next flight just to be safe. I get into the car service and I'm like, "Okay, so we're 6 minutes away?" "Oh no, who told you that?" I said, "The girl from Air Canada." "Yeah, we're 35-minute drive." I'm like, "Great, guess I'm going at 1:30. Got a tour of Chicago, went in, got my test, came out, told her it was a female. I said I'd love to see Wrigley Field again. I couldn't get there this time. We took a tour through Wrigleyville, got back to the airport, gave her a tip because she was very courteous, and got my email about an hour later, and I just waited. And it was negative. I did the test and it was negative. So all that just to, reinforce that I had no symptoms and I was negative. Got on the flight. 55 minutes later, I was in Canada. Had to go through customs, show all my tests. Everything went fine. Get on the highway. Major accident on the highway. So my day, I woke up at 6 and got into my house at 6:30 p.m. and it was a 55-minute flight. I literally could have almost driven home and most of the way back in that entire time. So it was a hell of a day. But nonetheless, listen, the National was a great experience again, my second one. And I picked up some stuff on Friday. And believe it or not, I picked up stuff technically on Saturday. So I'm going to do a day 3 and 4 recap. Talk about what I picked up and, call it a wrap on this year's National. Atlantic City's next year. Hopefully this world is in a better place, or maybe it's just the world we live in now. But I'm definitely going to try and get to Atlantic City. Just had too good of a time, and hopefully by then I'll have my hip replaced. I can get around a lot better, because it was definitely a struggle. As much as it pained me, I just, I was hot, I was sweaty, it was 1,000,000 degrees in there, struggling to walk, so it got to be very frustrating, but it was still enjoyable, and, wouldn't trade it for the world. And everyone always says, oh, it's, the show's great, but it is about the community. So many guys that I got to meet for the first time who are just decent, good, salt-of-the-earth people. People that you could no problem have a beer with and shoot the shit anytime. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show you what I picked up, and we'll call it a wrap. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, so let's start this off. I was walking around with JT, Triple Crown 24. We were trying to negotiate a deal. I was going to buy a 53 Jackie Robinson. It was only a 1.5, but it was a beautiful 1.5. I was ready to pull the trigger. Unfortunately, the guy was holding firm. He said, I'll go to 875. And, when he said that, I just kind of knew it was off the table, because, the ironic thing is, he's like, I sell these all day. But what he doesn't realize is JT found that on Wednesday, and it was Friday, and he sells them all day long. Well, if you sell them, why isn't it sold? Nonetheless, I passed on it, moved on. And then JT pointed out some hockey stuff to me, and I happened to look, and it's got a bit of scratching on the case and stuff like that. But this is Mr. Lorne Worsley, former Habs goalie, New York Rangers, Minnesota North Star, also known as Gump Worsley. So it's a beautiful postcard. They are the 1989 Hall of Fame postcards, and happy to get this. Got it for a very good deal. I mean, Mr. Worsley's dead, and as a Montreal Canadiens fan, I'm happy to add that piece to my collection. Then I always thought of myself as having a pretty good Carl Yastrzemski collection. Well, I met a guy named Jim who was staying in our hotel, and he had 4 showcases of nothing but Yastrzemski. A few scattered Red Sox. So I picked up a few items from him. First one is this 1970 team issue. They call it photo cards. They're a little 6x4 in a VG4. There's a little dinging on the corners, but when he pointed it out to JT and I, and they're blank back, we didn't even really notice it. I think the image takes your eyes away from the corners, but just a beautiful piece to add to my growing Carl Yastrzemski collection, especially with some oddball stuff mixed in. Then I also picked up a 1962 Post Canadian. I have this raw, but it's really butchered, and this came back as authentic, and I'm totally fine with that. It's a beautiful image. It's cut decently. It's cut within the lines, so that makes it authentic. And yeah, so picked that up. Again, blank back. Happy to add that one. And in keeping with that, I also picked up the actual 62 post in a PSA 6. You can hear our new French Bulldog, Frank the Tank. He's upstairs yapping away. Karl Yastrzemski's post serial card in a 6. Beautiful image. And you can see where you can see the borderline. And that generally reflects getting itself a grade. And he had a 6 and he had a 4. And JT and I were looking at it, and the 6 just presented well. The 4 wasn't cut as well as this, and so I pulled the trigger on the better of the two. Then I was walking around. I have to say that I was disappointed in not getting the Jackie, but one card I never owned and always wanted was a Johnny Bench rookie. So I picked up the Ron Tompkins Johnny Bench. Pretty decently centered. The back's not even that bad. Looks good to me. Got that in a 4. Pretty happy with that acquisition for the collection. And then I picked up just a beautiful piece. These are from Hassan cigarettes. They are the triple folders, and I've never owned one. The T202s. Basically shows angle in a close play, they call it. On the one side, it has Tris Speaker. On the other side, Clyde Angle, and just a beautiful, beautiful piece. This is in a PSA 3. It just, I mean, looks fantastic. Even the back is not all that bad. I mean, it's a little worse for wear on the back, but obviously the colors on the front the registration's fantastic on it. Really pops out, especially the red and the blue here, the green and the red on Clyde Angle. Just happy to add that bad boy. Got also another gift, Jeremy IPTTM. Happened to pick this up for me. It is a commemorative historical stitches patch of Karl Yastrzemski. So it's just a patch with his name sewn in there, made by Topps. And, you know, just a very kind, thoughtful, he's seen it, knew I'm a Yaz collector, and just grabbed it for me. And I just thought, you know what, that's solid. That's what this community is about. Just saw it and thought, you know what, I think I'm going to grab that for Mike. So he gave that to me at Filmington's party, get together at the Lowe's Hotel, and another great guy in the community. So that was my Friday pickups and gift. And then, you know, the night went pretty late. My day started, or my show started, by walking into the hotel and making a deal with JT Triple Crown 24 less than 3 minutes in. And I already showed this, but he sold me this Carlton Fisk auto, and from 5 Star, and it's just beautiful. So that's what I got when I first walked in. And then before we left, we were shooting the gab before we hit the sack, and I made 2 more purchases from JT. So, you know, making the circle complete. My first purchase was from JT. My last purchases were from JT. So first, I picked up this Raphael Devers auto optic red wave something or other, but just a beautiful card. Got that, as well as I picked up this Topps Archives of Jim Rice, number 34 of 61. Another beautiful piece. So that concludes everything. Hopefully you guys have seen my other recap videos. I know a lot of people have, more than I expected. I generally, for my Legends series of hockey, I know no one, I might get 15, 20, and I get some good regular guys that comment. But I don't get a lot of views on my video, and I mean, the national recaps, pretty, I have a hard time keeping up with all the comments and stuff. I don't know how the guys who have thousands of subscribers keep up with the content. Quite frankly, it seems very overwhelming. But nonetheless, it's greatly appreciated. If you haven't been to the National and you've always wanted to go, you just need to go and experience it. It's something to behold, and truly it's a get-together of people that are like-minded and, have a few beers, shoot the shit, kind of throw pot shots where you can and have fun. And it's just like we're all a bunch of buddies getting together. So thanks everyone for tuning in over my recap. And I know it's long-winded with my my show off of the cards I picked up and my experiences with Air Canada and the government of Canada, but it is what it is. I made it home safe and sound, and all is forgiven. So you guys have a great week coming up, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.